It's time for the talking to stop and the fighting to start. This should be good. I'm Todd Grisham. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
I feel like a fraud. How have I...
It's Roy Jones. Alexander Usyk, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion and heavyweight champion of the world, fighting out of Ukraine.
The reach, how on earth are they going to get through that jab?
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. Fighting out of the red corner from Pensacola, Florida, here is a middleweight, a super middleweight, a light heavyweight, and a heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
These two have certainly... These athletes have promised us a war. Let's see if they deliver. Insane action. So much for boxing. This is a fight. Punch, counter punch. The winner of this surely will get a world title shot. After so much pre-hype fight and social media drama, I can't believe we're actually in the midst of them fighting.
You have some fighters that are big show, big arena fighters, and they bask in this, they love this, they are born for this. You have other fighters where this would be like the rabbit in the headlights.
Nice counter shot. A very competitive round here so far.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
They're giving us a high-tempo show. Misses with the straight left. You can tell who's stronger and who's faster. That counter shot lands. Exchange punches. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. The game plan does not seem to be working here. What's he have to do differently?
Every second,
There's the bell for round 2. Not the start that they wanted, but let's see what they can do in this round.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet, not until your senses have come back.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Well done with that counter shot. If you're a counter puncher, then basically you do the counter attack. You let them get their punch off first, and then you answer in kind.
If you're fighting a counter puncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter punchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
He scores with the counter. Straight right just misses. There's a counter shot. Nice counter punch right up the middle. A perfect counter lands. Nice counter. Timing beats speed. Speed. Did you see that? Roy Jones Jr. in trouble. Didn't wait long to get back in and get engaged.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What will they do? What will they tell him when he gets back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, he is glad to have heard that bell.
Wow, it's like two different leagues.
There's the bell to start round 3. That corner has got to find a way to get some momentum behind their fight.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Both men step back for just a moment. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Perfect counter shot. These two fighters are made for one another. Can they figure out the combination to this safe?
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
How about that time counter shot? He misses with that jab. Good counter punching. Counter shot. Cannot throw out a lazy jab in this fight. Will get knocked out. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. He is... Here we go to the 4th round. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
The big Ukrainian in big trouble. Didn't wait long to get back and get engaged.
Bean Days now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
Catch and shoot. Beautiful counter shot. Which fighter will say no mas? Halfway through the round, and man, these two are going at it.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Nope, that jab not going to score. Energy and endurance are not an issue for this fighter who continues to be aggressive as the rounds wear on.
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
Those counter punches have to hurt. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. What would you tell this guy if he's got it? Here's the bell to start round 5. Well, they got battered last round. How do they turn their fortunes around?
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs have gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Knows the jab, but it doesn't score. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. That counter punch caught him clean. Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Beautiful counter punch. As we burn through these rounds, this aggressive fighter continues to come forward seemingly with endless energy, John.
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they...
That will do it. They want no more. So they will throw in the towel. The corner.
Yeah, the hate, the grind, the sweat, the blood, the time, my motivation. I work too hard, too long, and not be in the conversation. My team been up, way up, ain't nothing less than domination. I got the game and save with lock and key and combination. Keep the goal in high sight, don't focus on what's hindsight. Sleeping on me, tell them night, night, it's my time in a bright light. Don't ever bend no mind and keep it pushing, don't ever give them a sound. They gon' love you when you shining, but they wanna talk about you when you down. Motivation, all the hating that they doing, motivation. Staying winning, nothing less, ain't no consolation. Used to tell me that I couldn't, that's my motivation. Yeah, my motivation, motivation. All this money on my mind, that's my motivation. You be talking, but you not up in the conversation. They all wanting me to stop, that's my motivation. Yeah, my motivation. Yeah, bad time that I came through and I got one for the boy. Hey, now I'm finna ball out, step back, shoot for the score. Hey, if I had a penny for everyone doubted me, I'll make $1 million a month off a salary. Picture me rolling, go look at the gallery. I've been eating now, look at the calories. No, I've been out up on the road, trying to make it to my goals. Had a lot of friends in the past when I quit on me, had a fold. I remember being told, son, don't ever say it's sold. For the girls, for the cars, for the fame, for the riches, for the gold. Yeah, I've been chasing material things, I've been chasing my dreams. Stay close to the team, I don't ever need no reason to leave. Heard the birds in the trees, telling me it is a breeze. As you can see, I do it with ease, wanna make it them believe. Bad time that I came through and I got one for the boy. Hey, now I'm finna ball out, step back, shoot for the score. Hey, one time for the one time, off rebound, I reround. In the meantime, I stack up, this win my reward. Motivation, all the hating that they doing, motivation. Staying winning, nothing less, ain't no consolation. Used to tell me that I couldn't, that's my motivation. Yeah, my motivation. Motivation, all this money on my mind, that's my motivation. You be talking, but you not up in the conversation. They all wanting me to stop, that's my motivation.
We've got high hopes for this contest with these two fighters. Should be a really good matchup. I'm Todd Grisham. Alongside me, Johnny Nelson.
About time too.
It's time for our tale of the tape. This is Canelo Alvarez. He's 172. This is Canelo Alvarez, a four-division, multi-time world champion. Quite simply, one of the greatest of all time. It's no wonder they call him the pride of Wales, Joe Calzaghe. You are looking at an absolute legend, the longest reigning super middleweight champion.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, here is Mexico's first ever undisputed world champion and renowned star of boxing, Here is a 4-division world champion and an undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, Saul Canelo Alvarez. Fighting out of the blue corner, presenting the renowned unified world champion with a remarkable undefeated career, introducing the 2-division champion of the world and boxing's pride of Wales, please welcome Joe, the Italian Dragon Calzaghe.
And this one has all of those big fight feels you want from a prize fight. Here we go.
You know, look at the stars, ex-fighters, ex-champions ringside. That's what these fights do. That's what these venues do.
What a great venue and what a great matchup. Cannot wait for this one. Great to have you with us for this all-action affair. We expect big things, and I don't think we're going to be disappointed. We wanted action, and they are delivering. A perfect counter lands. Beautiful counter shot. There's a counter shot. Good counter punching. Beautiful counter punch. These two fighters are made for one another. How about that time counter shot? Perhaps the hottest ticket in town for this fight tonight.
You have certain fighters that are born for this, that are made for the big crowd. And looking at that corner right there, that is that fighter right there. They have elevated, lifted it like they're not touching the ground. This is what they were born for.
And they figure out the combination to this safe.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Both men step back for just a moment. Nice counter shot. Miss with that jab. Exchange punches. This is some of the best action I've seen in any round, anywhere this year. Nice catch. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Alvarez. Here we go for round two. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Good counter punch. When you're fighting a counter puncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counter puncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
Counter puncher's my favorite kind of fighter. A good counter puncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
Catch and shoot. Wow, let's take another look at that.
You're right, Todd. What a shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Did you see that? Oh, and Joe Calzaghe just took a heavy shot. Calzaghe is down, but will he get up? As we watch it again one more time, appreciate the perfection of that knockout shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you continue.
They got knocked down, but didn't stay down. Once again, showing you how much grit and courage this fighter has.
He's up, but for how long? Look at that. On the heels, look at, there's nothing there. There's no defense. The eyes are glazed.
They're happy this round's coming to an end. 10 seconds left. Talk about Calzaghe. Let's get it started in round 3. And there's the bell to start the round. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Nice stop, but that won't score. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Jab. Nice counter punch right up the middle. So close for that uppercut. Back and forth they go in this round. The momentum continues to shift.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. No rest for the weary. Just missed with that jab. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. Well, we know they've got the advantage so far, but how does this match get turned? And he scores with the counter. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Nice counter. He threw a punch and just got countered. That counter shot lands. Just when you thought we'd see a lull in the action, here we go again. Punch caught him clean. Someone tell these two that they can be defensive for a minute if they want to. Those counter punches have to hurt. A perfect counter shot. Back and forth they go. Neither fighter willing to back down.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
You don't want to go tit for tat in there in this fight. Well done with that counter shot. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. It's all offense, all the time. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Jab slightly off target. Punch, counter punch. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Talk about Alvarez in that lap. And there's the bell for round 5. That round was complete domination. Let's see if we can shake things up here in this round.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Energy and endurance are not an issue for this fighter who continues to be aggressive as the rounds wear on.
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown a shot. The strength they have, the speed they have, and that knockout punch, they want to punch through you. They don't want to punch you. They want to punch straight through you. So you've got to be careful.
Missing with that jab. Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Just misses with that uppercut. Nice counter punch. One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's all right to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. This is the beginning of round 6. Coming off that fantastic last round, let's see if he can keep his momentum going.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
You'd like to see more jabs. Punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Perfect counter shot. And he scores with the counter. Nice counter shot. Which fighter will say no mas? Punch, counter punch. Through the round, and it's pretty much even Steven.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Beautiful counter punch. A perfect counter lands. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. How about Alvarez in that last round? Pretty
Get out there and switch it.
And there's the bell for round 7. Last round, complete domination. Let's see what we have in store for us here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Another scoring shot there. Good counter punch. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. This fight has a real good flow to it. They're both trying for a knockout. So far, it seems like aggression has been the key. This fighter just... The pound-for-pound king, Canelo, is down! And as you can see here, a picture-perfect punch did the trick.
I've got to see...
1, 2,
on their feet right now, Johnny. Do they go toe for toe or do they play defense here?
Oh, he can smell blood. Look at that. He's put in down once. He knows what shot works and where to land it. Then try and do it again. He's just not got to get trigger happy.
So much firepower here. Final 10 seconds here, unless we get some late drama. I think we all know who won this round. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. That'll be a 10-8 round for sure with the knock. Round 8, and we're off again. His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's going to do after being knocked down in the last round?
What a heavy knockdown. How are they going to come back from that? They staggered back to the corner. They've got to freshen them up, alert them again, get them back on point again. This round, they've got to coast around. Don't get involved. Give yourself another 3 minutes to get your head clear.
He threw a punch and just got countered. Swing and a miss with the jab. Perfect counter shot. Just misses with that jab. Well, Johnny, you know there's a fine line between being aggressive and being too aggressive. How does he exploit that?
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tell. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
Jab misses. How about that time counter shot? So much for boxing. This is, hold that thought! The pride of Wales in some real trouble. Looks like they've shaken it off.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough.
What a knockout headshot. Let's watch it again. And they knew it when... Not many people would have predicted it, but we've got a knockout victory.
A knockout victory? That's not a knock...